Wow.
I'm going to die. I think I'm slowly dying.
Wow.
It's only bad when I talk or when I laugh, which is perfect for this podcast. We'd like to welcome you to the Buckhorn Podcast.
What's going on, Randy?
Your easy listening station.
Wow. Wow.
You come here for the supple tones of our voices.
Yeah, we did.
And the supple intellect of our minds.
Supple.
And by supple, I mean subtle.
Simple.
I mean simple. I mean the non-negotiable intellect that I think the two of us combined have an IQ of about 84.
I was going to go with 2, but...
No, you'd be brain dead at 2. Even Forrest Gump was in like the 60s.
Okay.
All right, we got to be in the 80s.
And we're live.
Of course we are. We're always live.
Hi, Randy. How are you today?
I'm good. I can barely hear you.
Really?
Yeah, get into your mic.
Blah, 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 blah.
Now, there's that. You've been learning language from your daughter.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. You want some cereal? Blah, 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 blah. That was her response this morning.
It was an interesting interaction.
You know what? I think I know what the problem is. See what happens here real quick. Oh, no. That's fine. We're good. All right.
Okay.
How you doing today?
I feel like AIDS.
You do. You sound like it. You sound like SARS, AIDS, and the new EE virus.
Whatever. I feel like swine flu. Like a big old fat slab of bacon hacking up a lung.
Yeah.
I'm going to freaking die. I got my water here with the straw you provided.
Yeah.
And my triple soothing action, Halls Cough Drops. This episode's brought to you by Halls. The soothing sore throat, relieving cough, cool nasal passages, cough drop of champions. They should give us money for that now.
Yeah, they should.
Oh, it's got menthol in it.
I love.
That's why I talk like that now.
You know what?
I'm eating menthols.
My
straight out of Circleville. Hey, kids.
That's called smoker's voice.
Get off my lawn.
I just smoked 2 packs of cigarettes in 5 minutes.
This is an oral anesthetic.
Yeah, it is.
It's better than an anal anesthetic.
One of my favorite things is to just, instead of getting candy, I'll get a bag of Halls. Cough drops.
I like Ludens.
No,
if you get me a box of Ludens when I'm sick, 10 out of 10, I'm going to eat them all in one sitting, like as fast as I can.
But Ludens are just like...
amazing. I will
candy.
store them in my cheeks like a squirrel with some big old nuts.
But it's just candy.
It's amazing candy.
Well, I know, but...
It's like eating those cherry heads.
I like the Halls because I like the mentholyptus. I'll get the extra strength ones.
Like the eucalyptus, the blue ones?
Yeah, they're
those
kind of
ones are crazy. You pop one of those and it's like eating shrooms.
Yeah, I'll do that and then
They take
drink
you to a
cold
different
water.
level. Yeah.
And just your throat like seizes up.
And then
you get
pickle
brain
juice and orange
freeze.
juice mixed together.
Oh, God, that's disgusting.
That sounds awful, don't it?
Yeah.
What if pickle juice would help my throat?
What was nasty is Harley wanted pickles for breakfast with her cereal.
Yeah, with her stars
With
and
her
marshmallows.
cereals. That's gross. Her knockoff Lucky Charms.
Yeah. The Unlucky Charms. I'm going to start making knockoffs and name it the opposite.
Unlucky Charms.
Right.
What would be the opposite of Golden Grams?
Brown grams. Just little lumps of brown nuggets. Look like rabbit turds in your cereal bowl.
Little, the emoji icon.
Yeah, and
Little
instead
piles.
of tricks, it'd be a rabbit, but just be called like
Illusions.
nice deeds. No, it'd be the opposite of you being tricked.
Or you could just respell tricks like they would for prostitutes.
That's not the opposite,
Tricks.
though.
John's.
John's. Oh, there it goes. I was trying not to laugh. Oh, I'm going to die. Throat AIDS.
Oh, you're fine.
I'll be good. It's only been like a month and a half I've had this.
You should probably go see a minute clinic.
I'm going to go to Walmart and have a doctor tell me what's wrong. We took the boys when they were hacking, and when I was at work one day, Beth took the boys, and they were like, yeah, they got this upper respiratory bull crap. You'll be good, but the cough will last for like 3 months. I was like, awesome.
Great.
Yeah, so I just walk around hacking up a lung.
I got some of that chloroseptic spray. You can just spray in the back of your throat.
It don't work. It's like in my lungs. I have to inhale it.
I didn't say it was for your lungs. It just numbs your throat.
Yeah. My throat doesn't always hurt. It usually starts in the chest, and then I start hacking.
You want me to punch you in the chest?
Sure,
in the
I
sternum?
don't care.
See if we can break it up.
It might. It could work. It's one of the things where you have an injury for 20 years, then you, like, fall off a ladder weird, and you're better. Like, oh, my back don't hurt anymore, or my knee don't hurt anymore.
How's that feel?
Feels great. I feel fine now. Follow this one simple trick. Doctors hate us. If somebody in your life coughs, punch them as hard as you can in the chest.
There you go. Problem solved. You ain't hacking up a lung.
I'm good now.
You're good now.
I'm perfect. I'm not even congested.
Today has been...
Can you tell a difference in my voice?
I didn't kick you in the nuts yet.
Come out sound like Tiny Tim. Tiptoe through the window.
Oh,
that's all I know of that song. I can't understand Tiny Tim, and I don't know how he ever had a career of doing anything.
Because, well, he was, I think his mom or his parents were famous. He's a child of famous parents. So he inevitably became famous for his ukulele.
He's a child of molestation, it sounds like.
His ukulele playing of Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Anyway.
Tiptoe.
Today, you can't have any, but I am going to do a little review of Catoctin Creek.
Catoctin. Not to be confused with Coshocton. Because if you drink something from Coshocton Creek, you'll
will die.
You will get throat AIDS.
This is a rye whiskey. It's 92 proof. And this is the distiller's edition that a buddy of mine picked up who is moving to Virginia. And Randy's still dying.
Oh, man.
The punch to the sternum didn't help.
It did not. Temporary fix.
So I'm about halfway through this bottle. I've had some of it already. I've poured myself about 3 fingers worth.
So I've seen this bottle before. Cool looking bottle.
Yeah.
What's the price point on this?
I don't know.
Oh, it was okay. Fair enough.
My buddy gave it to me as a gift, and he wouldn't tell me the price
Does it say the
could
proof?
pay him back. It's 92.
Okay.
It's 92
high
proof.
octane.
So it's a higher octane. This particular one is a 2005 gold medal winner at the New York World Wine and Spirit Competition. And I got turned on to this distillery from Instagram, just following different distilleries and then wanting to get a bottle. It's not available here in Ohio. So here's another bottle you can't get in the state of Ohio, people.
So is this the single barrel Roundstone?
What's
it?
Yes. This is a single barrel rye whiskey Roundstone.
That is about $50.
Okay.
So, because they make it now, some places say 30. Looks like it varies.
I would go with $49.99.
The cask proof Roundstone's $100.
See, I want one of those too. I'll take one of those. The last time I had this, I had it after a glass of something else.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have it.
So I didn't have it.
They make a watershed gin as well.
Ooh. But it smells fantastic. You want to smell?
It does smell good. I got a little whiff of it, even through my closed nose. Hold on. Let me try and...
What do you think?
It smells smooth for a high octane.
Yeah, it smells...
it's got a nice aroma to it.
It's picking up a little bit of some vanilla, caramel, some toffee.
Like most good bourbons. It smells like a good bourbon.
It does. It's not as... I'd say it's not really as dark as I would like.
Yeah.
But...
Hold it up to the window there and get the natural light. It's a nice amber color.
It's a good amber color. I would like it to be maybe a little darker.
That might be how long it's aged.
But that's just me. And who knows? It could be a variety of things.
I'm going to drink more of my vat of water here.
But it's got legs. I mean, my little swirly, watch it walk down the inside of the glass. So it's pretty high alcohol content. I have not tried it yet by itself, and I've just had.
And what better time to try high octane bourbon than on a Saturday morning?
Yeah, Saturday morning. Let's drink up. So
give her a tasting there and let us know what you think.
Ooh. Almost went down the wrong pipe. It's very creamy. It's got a very like creamy mouthfeel to it.
Yeah.
So it just kind of coats
Kind of a thicker.
Yeah, it kind of tastes. It feels thick. It's not. It kind of coats the inside of your mouth.
Heard that so many times in my life.
Right. It's got a slight burn to it. It's making my nose water.
That's 92 proof.
It's got something going on inside of it. Still picking up the caramel and the toffee tones. You know that if you're in, well, you do like Backwoods Fest and
outdoorsy things.
So you know that smell of leather.
Yeah,
it kind of has that taste.
Kind of like what leather smells like.
Yeah,
but in a good way or a bad way?
No, in a great way.
Because like I walk into a real leather shop. There's one in Columbus I know of. I walked into and you just smell that like that. I don't want to say odor because odor is so negative usually, but that aroma. That's the word I'm looking for. It's like that. This is a leather shop. It feels good. It feels right. It smells perfect. I love smelling real leather.
I'm picking up just, a little bit of that on the back end.
Like if you could taste that smell.
If you could taste that smell. So it's really good.
How many donuts?
I'll give it 2.5.
Right in the middle, then.
Right in the, it's right down the middle. It's really.
So you like really having a bottle, not something you'd kill for, but
not something I would kill for.
But you would buy again.
I would buy it again if I was in Virginia.
Yeah.
If I'm over in Virginia, over that way, I would pick up a bottle.
So you can't get this in Ohio, then?
No.
Oh,
you can't get it in Ohio. I tried to get them to send me a bottle. I reached out to one of the reps, and asked if he would send me a bottle. And he's like, well, we don't sell in Ohio. I'm like, that doesn't mean he can't send me a sample-sized bottle. I said, you're not selling it. I said, you're sending it to me.
Does he know who you are?
No.
You should have sent him a link to the podcast.
I did.
Oh, well, send him a link here now.
Send me a sample bottle. Send me one of your, the 350 milliliter bottles.
You know who else doesn't sell in Ohio?
Two Bitch Bourbon.
Exactly. And what did we do for them?
They gave
we kind of partnered up.
They sent over.
They sent a sample. We gave them a lot of love. You now have a cleaver with some whiskey stave knives handles, and we've given them many shout outs.
Yeah, and
because of that, I've had a few buddies that went to Vegas that have tried them.
So, and I'll give them.
Catoctin Creek could have that same relationship with us.
Absolutely.
But of course, putting ourselves in their shoes, why would they look at us and say, well, they got nothing. 3 listeners, and one looks like the one guy's mom.
Right.
And the other's his aunt. So why send them anything? All right.
Anyway.
Touche, Catoctin. Touche.
We got it.
We're still going to tag you in this.
I'm still going to tag you in this. It's really good stuff.
Apparently you make a good bourbon. When I am off my 75-day hard crap.
This isn't a bourbon. This is a whiskey.
Or whiskey. Sorry. This is a rye whiskey. You're right.
Whiskey. So
I'm so used to us doing bourbons.
I've started just referring to everything as whiskey.
Yeah. That way we don't have anybody complain about it.
That way I don't have any people crawling up my ass about.
Well, what if I like that, though?
Well, if you like people crawling up your ass.
This is a bourbon.
Then call it whatever you want.
Come and get it. So, yeah. So, good job on the whiskey. I'm going to. Maybe I'll try and get a bottle of this one. Do they sell in Tennessee? I'll be in Tennessee in a couple months.
I will. It's not like I'm going to hammer this down. Excuse me. Getting a little chest burn. I'm not going to hammer this down. So once you're, I don't want to call it a diet.
It's not a diet. It's a challenge.
Special event challenge.
Yeah, deadly special.
I will. You can definitely try some.
See, my problem is I'm going to Tennessee, but I never end up going to a liquor store for one reason.
Well, while you're down there, so not to throw shade at Catoctin Creek, but while you're down there, try to see if they have Virgil Cane, because I know they sell it in Tennessee.
I will go out of my way for that. I've never, ever gone looking for a liquor store in Tennessee.
You should do that. Because
here's why, though. Old Smoky Moonshine Distillery is there, right?
Right.
And right next to the one in Pigeon Forge, because they have multiple ones now, is a winery that has a beautiful mulberry wine there. And I'm not a wine guy at all. Like, I don't hate wine. I don't mind doing wine tastings.
Right.
But you're not going to see me buy a bottle of wine usually. I don't have anything in our house right now except some cooking wine, I think, like Beth has. But, like, we don't have, because of my challenge, I took it all away, sent it to GW's, told them to hide it. But the Old Smoky Distillery's there, and so many people go, well, that's not real moonshine. They act all tough. When none of them have made moonshine, none of them Like, I know of people that make real in the woods moonshine.
Nothing that you can sell retail is
right,
real moonshine.
Exactly. So they get all huffy and puffy, and they have this like air of arrogance, like, well, Old Smoky's not real. Shut up.
None
First
of it
off,
is.
all of it's whiskey.
Right.
When it comes off the still, moonshine is whiskey. It's corn whiskey.
And it's clear.
Here's the thing. When I go to Old Smoky, I go there because I like the spirits they make. They make their own moonshine their own way, just like Tim Smith when he went legal, that from the show Moonshiners, which we tried his overnight aged bourbon, basically.
We did.
We weren't a huge fan. It tasted more like moonshine than bourbon. Which
yeah, it was.
I liked it, but it wasn't a bourbon to me.
No,
it wasn't a properly aged bourbon.
It was super. If I remember, super like ethanol-y.
Yeah,
super
it was
burny.
very much moonshiny.
It was very quick.
Yeah,
it was in the barrel for color, and that's it.
Right. So we tried all these different quote unquote moonshines that are store brand, and people get all I just hate hearing people that get all snooty about it. I don't care. I can go right now. I know a guy. I'm a text away from getting moonshine. Legit moonshine. Like off a still, straight into a jar, here you go. But I love going there because they have flavors you can't buy in stores anywhere. It's distillery
like the
only.
One. They have a pickle
They
one.
saw that they have pickles, which I'm intrigued by because
I am too. So if you're down there,
you can get that here. I saw it in Ohio.
I took
a picture and sent it to a friend who did vodka pickles, her and her friend. They took pickles and vodka and some other spices and jarred them.
I'm intrigued by the Old Smoky pickle one. Now I have a friend. I have a friend who grabbed them. He listens, I think. If not, whatever. Craig, you should listen. He got them, and he's like, I can't remember if he said they were great or they were awful, but I think they were.
But he had an opinion.
He had an opinion about
Old Smoky cherries. I know people that love those. It's a whole jar of cherries. They put in a little of their moonshine, just soak them.
Right.
So I've had those cherries, and they're strong. They're very strong cherries, but they're good. And then they started the pickles. I saw that. That's not. Where did I see this? I took a picture on a shelf. It wasn't something I saw online, and I sent it to a friend. But they make a moonshine down there that you can't get here. That's like key lime pie, which I know you have strong opinions on various pies.
I like key lime pie.
It's incredible. But my problem is you go there. It used to be free. Before the Gatlinburg fires a couple years ago, it was free tastings, right?
Okay.
So my first time I went down there, I'd already bought some of the stuff here in Ohio. My favorite is the Hunch Punch Lightning. It's like a fruit punch moonshine. It's 80 proof. You mix that with Tahitian Treat, and you've just got a refreshing drink.
Really?
Oh, dude, it's magic. It's something that it takes you back to your childhood. It's sweet. Like I wouldn't mix it with Kool-Aid because I think Kool-Aid's sugar.
Right.
But that Tahitian Treat with a little bit of carbonation and some of this Hunch Punch is phenomenal. But they have a moonshine that Old Smoky makes that's called Blue Flame. Their Blue Flame, if I recall, is 128 proof.
Holy shit.
And people sit here and say, Old Smoky doesn't make moonshine, and I offer them to buy that and try it, and nobody drinks it.
I will take a sip of that.
I'll get some. When we're done, I'll get some. We'll taste it. It straight burns. It is moonshine to the T. I think they got tired of people saying you're not real moonshine. Said, fine, we'll do it. We won't cut it. We won't flavor it. Here you go. And it's literally, you look in a clear jar, and it's got this blue hue to it.
You've talked about this stuff, I think, on the show when Jimmy was on.
Yeah, probably. And my favorite thing, if you ever go to Tennessee to Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg, go do a tasting. It's only $5 now. And my first time ever is the funniest because this dude comes, they're all like wearing overalls and looking moonshiny,
Yeah.
And this guy comes over and puts out the typical little communion plastic cups you'd see in church, and he lines them up in front of you. There's like 8 or 9 of them. So they're not full shots.
He pours in the Blue Flame.
Not even, no, he does this.
Lights them all on fire.
Well, he probably could. Well, they've run the gamut, everything down to even 40 proof, which is only 20%. Some of their stuff I found in gas stations. Their flavored stuff. So it's the weaker.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because it was me and 3 couples. And I'd had the Blue Flame. I'd had most of their flavors, so I knew what I was getting into. And he comes over and says, we're going to church. Puts out the cups. Everybody kind of chuckles. He's acting, he's playing into the character. We're doing moonshine tasting. And he goes, we got one rule here. if I pour it in your cup, it goes in your gut. Now, before each flavor, I'm going to tell you exactly what you're getting into. And if you don't want it, you just put your hand over whatever shot glass we're on, little communion cup we're on.
Right.
Or tell me no, or flip it over, whatever. And you don't have to try it. But if it goes in your cup, it's got to go. So I'm kind of in the middle of this pack of couples. One of them was on their honeymoon. So we're all standing there, and the first thing he starts off with, he goes, okay, we're going to hit you with our hardest first. If you can handle this, you can handle anything else in the whole state of Tennessee.
Okay.
Pulls out the Blue Flame, and I smile. Because I've had this. And as somebody who enjoys a good hot bourbon, this stuff hurts, right? I mean, there's no cutting it. I tried one time cutting it with Orange Crush. I've tried cutting it with Kool-Aid. No matter what you pour this in with, it burns. So everybody, he's telling everybody, he's like, this is the hottest. This is 128 proof. This is like getting stuff from the still in the woods.
Yeah.
Heads up. Well, a couple of people are like, okay, I don't want that. But this one dude on the end, to my far right, he looks at his fiance and she's like, you better not. And he's like, I can do it. And I'm looking at everybody, seeing who else will. And a couple do, but this one dude on the far end to my right, I could tell this dude wasn't ready for what was about to hit him. So he asked me, I said, I've had it before. And he said, does it burn? I said, oh, it burns. Like, I wasn't going to lie to the guy. And he said, I'm going to try it. So the guy, before they pour the Blue Flame, they look each person in the eyes like, do you want this? And, most people said no. I think only me, him, and maybe one other person got it. We threw that shot back, and this dude throws it back as fast as he can, thinking maybe if he shoots it, it'll be
right.
And his fiance looks at him and
get everything.
Yeah. I throw mine down. He throws his down. Everybody's looking at us, and I'm sitting there like I'm good. Now it burns, but I knew what to expect. I knew what I was getting myself into. It's kind of like if you've eaten a certain hot pepper before, then a year later you eat it again. You know what you're going to get. Yeah. So you react. It's different than your first time. He had no idea. This dude started hacking. At first, he was trying to play cool when you could see immediately his forehead starts glistening, and he starts turning red, and he just starts losing it. Oh, dude, real quick. And the guy behind the counter started laughing. He said, "Told you." And I started laughing. His wife or whatever, everybody's just kind of dying. But yeah, you go through the tasting, and they give you all the new flavors. So they give you one that's like a creamier coffee type. They give you the key lime. They give you the apple pie, which you can get here. They have one called Lemon Drop. It's only 40 proof. That's real sweet. That one's not going to get you hammered. It's just really good tasting. So you've got options. But yeah, I haven't tried the pickles. I'd be intrigued.
I just put some Stratocton Creek in my coffee.
Stratocton? It's kicking in.
Catocton Creek. No.
In your coffee? Is it good?
Coffee. It is good.
You're making some Irish coffee over there.
A little bit.
There you go. Yeah, I'll have to find some when I'm down there in a couple months because that will be after the 75 days.
Okay.
So I'll buy a jar or two of something that's distillery only that we can do a tasting on.
All right. So I found my buddy Craig's post, and he just said game changer.
Yeah. It looks like your standard jar of pickles. Just says Old Smoky Moonshine on the label.
Right. So he said game changer, and all I said was, I need these. I sent him I said, I need these for the show. He gave me a thumbs up. That was it. So
I saw these in a store. I've got the picture on my phone. I just can't remember.
So that's it. But
if I find a jar, I'll grab it just so we can.
Okay.
Now I can't drink for the 75-day challenge, but nobody said I can't eat moonshine pickles. Or cherries.
Right.
Speaking of game changer.
Butt chug. Butt funnel them pickles.
They didn't say I couldn't butt funnel. For those of you that don't know what a butt chug is, you know how I learned about that? On 1,000 Ways to Die.
There was
a show where a guy was told by his doctors, you're going to die if you keep drinking.
Right.
He had his wife put a funnel, basically a beer bong
up
his butt and pour wine in it.
Yeah. So kids were doing this. It was like 10 years ago. High school kids were doing this. They were taking tampons.
That's still happening.
Soaking them in alcohol
or whatever.
And then shoving them up their ass.
Yeah, because what it does,
it absorbs into the blood.
Your colon or whatever absorbs it straight into the bloodstream.
Right.
So say you would need,
your liver doesn't process it, so you're getting the full
for example,
effect.
You need 8 shots to get a good buzz. Just for a number I threw out there.
Right.
You need 8 shots of 100 proof whiskey, you get a good buzz. Like half a shot to a shot will put you over that mark. Going straight into the rectal cavity, apparently. It's a very small amount. And these people are just like...
Well, your liver isn't filtering any of it out.
Right.
It's going straight to your bloodstream. and it doesn't show up on a breathalyzer test.
And that's what this guy was doing because they said they were going to start testing him, and he died because he took like a bottle of wine up the butt.
That's why they started doing the blood test.
I don't get it,
where
man.
they take you in and do a blood test.
See, my thing is, the reason, like, if I drink a bourbon, it's because I like the taste. Mm-hmm. I don't drink bourbon just to get hammered.
I don't drink anything to get hammered anymore.
So why would I want to put something up my...
I'm not in college.
...rear orifice?
Because some people like that feeling. It's a high for them. It's
I get that.
So,
I mean,
that's an addiction thing. That's a whole other thing that we could probably do a whole show.
Now,
we could do a whole series on addiction.
And here's
just
the thing.
The different types of stuff that
peer
happens.
Pressure got me to smoke my first Swisher Sweet at 11 years old. And then I went from there on to cigarettes. Peer pressure got me to drink my first Smirnoff Ice at 15. And then I went on to drink many other things.
I tried Zima and hated it.
Well, I didn't try Zima until I was
in high school.
About 18 or 19.
I was in high school. I was like 15, 16 when my buddy's
Zima became a thing. Everybody's drumming the Jolly Ranchers in them.
No, we weren't even doing that. That shit was straight. Like I remember being with my buddy who was one of my best friends at the time, being over at his house, and we found a bottle of rum that his dad had. So he would take shots of rum and then go back and fill it up with water. Because the smart thing to do,
right?
Until it starts to get watered down. But he was like,
until the whole bottle's clear.
Yeah. So I was staying the night at his house, and his parents were out somewhere, and he's like, well, I've got a 6-pack of Zima. And I'm like, this is gross.
I don't remember. I had it when I was younger, but I remember drinking one.
We did it we did it when it first came out. So keep in mind, I'm a little bit older than you. So dropping a Jolly Rancher to flavor the Zimas wasn't a thing.
Wasn't a thing yet. Nobody figured that out.
At that point. But it was gross.
That was like the precursor to White Claws, flavoring Zimas with Jolly Ranchers.
White Claws, no laws. Woo!
So, yeah,
anyway.
But think of the peer pressure. What I was going to say, the peer pressure to smoke or to drink a Smirnoff Ice. When I did the Smirnoff, I was 15. Went out with some college friends, age friends, which they were older relatives. I wasn't 15, just hanging with random college people. And there are a bunch of college freshmen there. We're all going to go to a haunted house.
Yeah.
Girls are all drinking Smirnoff.
The haunted hoochie.
I'm a fat 15-year-old. What was the one at the old Polaris Amphitheater?
Oh, hell, I don't know.
I forget. It had like 3 haunted houses. But
never went up there.
So we went to Boo at the Zoo. And, but yeah, these girls were drinking Smirnoff Ices before going. So I was like, well, yeah, I'm a chubby 15-year-old. All these college freshman chicks. Heck yeah, I'm going to drink Smirnoff Ice with you. And the peer pressure was pretty easy on that one. I gave in pretty easy. I can't imagine the peer pressure it'd take for me to shove a tampon in my rear orifices that have been soaked in anything.
No.
I have no desire.
No. But anyway, back to what I was saying about Tennessee. When you're down in Tennessee, we're jumping back like 10 minutes at this point. Look for things that you can't find here in Ohio.
Yeah, I got to go to a liquor store. I don't even know where one is. I've never looked for one. I go every year. I think I've missed maybe 2 or 3 years of my entire 36 years of existence.
There you go. So just find one. I mean, I'm sure you can find.
I'll Google it.
I'm sure well, you may not be able to find some of the shit that we're trying to look for here, like Weller and Blanton's, but I'm sure you may be able to find. I know that Virgil Cane is available in Tennessee because a friend of mine from the gym, whose mom moved to Kentucky, I think. Kentucky. They were down in Tennessee, and he's like, hey, they have Virgil Cane in Nashville.
Nice.
I'm like, what?
Well, I mean, Gatlinburg's just right across the mountains from North Carolina, so.
So you should be able to find it there. Look for things that ain't.
Right.
That aren't available here.
You can
and
say
see what you can find.
Podcast.
I can say whatever the hell I want. It's my show.
Our show.
Our show.
I own 3% of it. At least.
Well, now you do.
I claim 3%. That's all I want. Less responsibility that way.
Less responsibility.
Less profit, but less work.
I want to give so if you know of a brewery here locally.
Okay.
You know the owner.
Okay.
Reach out to them. This is for the listeners. I've already reached out to one person.
Any kind of brewery, like beer?
Beer
okay.
brewery. I was having a discussion.
Some distilleries in Ohio too.
Right.
Not as many.
No, this is something specific. So it's a beer brewery, like Double Edge or Outer Belt, Rock Mill, one of the breweries around Columbus.
Okay.
I was having a quick discussion with, for whatever reason, a light bulb went overhead. Never really happens. But it happened this day. I was sitting outside having a glass of 2-bitch, and I said, hey, I just sent him a quick message over Instagram. Hey, you guys should think about doing a barrel-aged beer. Send your, collaborate with somebody. And they said, they responded, I mean, as they do, because they are a fantastic distillery and their social media is on point. They said, we're in collaboration with somebody, but if you know of somebody over your way that wants to do a collaboration, we'll freight the barrels to you.
Wow.
Well, not to me, but to the brewery.
Right.
And I said, holy shit. I said, there are 6 breweries within 10 miles of where I live.
Yeah.
Legitimately. We've got Outer Belt, Double Edge, Rock Mill.
What's that? Brewdog?
Brewdog I don't count. Like, I look at Brewdog. Yeah, they're a brewery.
I don't know anything about them.
They're huge. They're not like a small, They are enormous overseas.
We got Elevator downtown.
There's Elevate. Well, I wasn't even thinking about Elevator. I'm thinking like right in
you're
this
thinking
area.
Real close.
So we've got Combustion, Loose Rail.
Never heard of that one.
They're up in Canal.
Okay.
Right on I don't even know what the road is.
Google it.
It's one of the main streets. So there are like 5 or 6 breweries within a 10 to 15 minute radius of where I live.
Yeah.
Where we record from. I can hit up any one of these breweries and be hammered or drinking a great beer in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I already reached out to one person. I haven't heard back yet. It's a friend of the owner. So
okay.
I'm going to reach out to more friends of owners because I don't know the owners directly. And I'm actually heading over to Double Edge as we record this evening.
If you do a thing where they do a collaboration, you somehow got to get Buckhorn's name in it.
I'll figure it out.
Like in collaboration with Buckhorn Podcast, or
we'll call it the Buckhorn. We'll call it the Buckhorn Ale,
Buckhorn Brew, or something.
Yeah, Buckhorn Brew, Buckhorn Ale. I'll figure that part out.
That would be awesome.
We'll figure that part out.
Have our own beer.
It'll be the
I'm a beer guy, but that'd be awesome.
If that's the case,
we need our own bourbon. We just don't have the time.
We just don't. Well, that's time and money.
Well, we definitely don't have the money.
We don't have the money. So if you know of a brewery or an owner of a brewery or somebody that wants to do a barrel beer collaboration, shoot us an email at buckhornpodcast@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter.
Yes.
I can get you in touch with a distillery out of Nevada that makes a fantastic whiskey.
Yes.
Out of their Pack Leader Reserve or their small bark with bite, sorry. They will freight the Eureka
Gold.
And
I know you weren't the biggest fan. I really liked it.
I liked it. I like the Pack Leader Reserve.
The Pack Leader Reserve is hard to beat. It's hard to beat.
The Eureka Gold was floral for me.
It was like a Four Roses. It was more of a.
I liked it. I just liked the others better.
That's fair. You're allowed to have a favorite.
Right. And so, I mean, the Pack Leader Reserve.
What we're saying is you guys need to send us more samples because we're confused as to what we like.
Yes. So, if you know of a brewery owner or brewery that wants to do a collaboration with a bourbon company that is not around here.
Yeah, you cannot get this just anywhere.
Get in touch with me. I can get you in touch with the owners of 2Bitch, and you guys can touch tips, make a connection, and get some barrels.
We'll just have you dock.
Right. So do a little docking. Anyway, enough with that. Let's we got a little bit of weird news.
That was supposed to be like a 5-minute bourbon review.
I know. We turned it into like a 30-minute.
We haven't even talked about our day. We haven't talked about the weather like usual. You didn't even do the big welcome like you usually
I know.
You usually do.
I tried a new intro today.
You did.
Something a little different.
Tried a new enter me.
Wanted to try something different today. Switching it up.
We're getting fancy in 2019. It only took over a year.
2/3 of the way through 2019.
Yeah, we're about 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing here?
We had gone out and I was doing something to try to promote our site a little more, and you said, "Oh, let's read our customer reviews." So
yeah, I've
let's
never.
do that,
These are our iTunes.
These are our iTunes
I've
reviews.
never once looked at our iTunes anything. I know like it's on iTunes, and I know people consume us.
People
on
are
iTunes.
listening, not as many as we would like.
I mean,
that's fine.
ideally, we'd like a billion people listening so we
Right.
could do this full time.
But we're not doing this.
But we're thankful for the ones we have.
We are
do this
very
for
thankful.
fun.
And we do it for fun. We do it because we want to do
And
it.
people that talk to me in person, like close friends or family, I've realized more people listen than I realized because every once in a while I'll get a text from somebody that never comments, that never likes a post. I'll get a text or something saying, LOL, I can't believe you guys said this, or oh my gosh, you guys are dumb.
This
or,
shit came out of your mouth.
like,
you guys
just
are
some kind of
idiots.
reaction. So
Right.
we are very
I don't
grateful.
get any of those because I don't have any friends.
Yeah, nobody likes you.
Right.
And you continually shut down your Facebook because you're an old curmudgeon.
Well, I shut down my Facebook because there's too much negativity on
That's true.
Facebook, and there's too much political shit, and I
Do
don't
you
want to deal
remember
with
the
any
guy
of
that blocked me on Facebook 3 times?
Yes.
Last week?
He unblocked you.
No, a 4th block and unblock within 24 hours. It got brutal to where I was He had a fake account. I found out it was him. He basically gave himself up. He's been trying to troll me and my wife from both his personal and fake account. I started Googling, found some stuff. I said, hey, saw you just had a newborn baby. How's the 2 older kids? Notice your wife is doing this. How do you like living in this neighborhood? I said, by the way, I reported your fake
like
profile.
stalker.
And I'm intrigued. Well, he's already done this to me. He's already stalked me from multiple accounts. When I've told him I want nothing to do with you, he still tries to communicate.
God, that's ridiculous.
So that's why last Saturday, I finally went, that's enough. I was outside trying to spend time with my wife and kids, and Beth got pissed. So I finally went, okay, I'm drawing the line. So I know where he
got an
works.
infatuation with you.
And that's the word I said, what is your infatuation with me? I don't know you. We've never met. What is your problem? Do you want me to send nudes? Would that stop this? Because I'll send nudes. I'll look like Peter Griffin, but I'll send nudes. And oh man, that got me. But I was basically like, I wonder what your wife would think and her church would think and your employer would think if I sent all the conversations we've had, because I have screenshots of everything, even the crap you've deleted because you're too ashamed. And he just sent back a thumbs up. I was like, I'm so done. I sent the messages he sent to me to a few other people that know him and said, hey, is this like what this dude's really about?
Yeah.
One person sent back to me, you should probably handle this. Like it was that bad. So I handled it.
You should Krav Maga him.
Trust me. Anyway, so.
Visually Krav Maga him.
Yeah, crotch magotch.
Crotch magotch.
Crotch magotch him right in the face. I made no threat or anything. I just said I'm done. So I saw we have iTunes reviews I've never read.
We have 9 ratings.
9 ratings.
We have 8 5 stars and 1 star.
One single donut. And that person did not leave a review.
I would have thought that it would have been the complete opposite. One of them, I will be up forward. I will be straight up. One of them is mine.
It literally, the screen name's AKA Martelle.
It is me.
And it was from a little over a year ago.
Because someone had to get the ball rolling.
I wasn't going to mention that. I was going to ignore that one because not every rating leaves a review.
No, not every rating leaves a review. So we have 5 reviews. One of them is mine. And I just said, we're awesome.
Don't.
So
they can go find that.
So there are 4 other ratings here.
So let's read through these.
And I know 2, possibly 3 out of the 4.
I don't. So
2 of them I know for a fact. One I'm not sure.
I've never met any of these people.
The other one, the one you may have. The Little Jim 68. I don't know
Little Jim
who that
68 said, good entertainment. Martelle and Randy just talking about whatever they want. Funny and entertaining. Enlighten yourself by subscribing and listening. Yes, enlighten yourself.
Enlighten yourself.
Great descriptor of our show.
That's
if you
right.
listen to us, you will be enlightened.
You will definitely be. We will open your mind.
We'll open something.
So
we'll open your mind and your hearts. We will open your hearts.
Hearts.
We'll open your hearts, your minds, and your hearts.
So, and that was a 5. They're all 5 stars. They're all
5.
So Skinny
Thank
Matt,
you, Little Jim. What's Skinny Matt say?
Skinny Matt 13 says, entertaining. These 2 goobers are so much fun to listen to. That Randy guy needs better taste in beer. Highly recommend this show.
Okay, first off, my taste in beer It's poor white trash.
It is.
Like
Bush lattes.
Not Bush Light. I don't like a lot of the domestic light beers. I've told you if I drink a domestic light beer, it's Yingling or Coors Light, because Coors Light is water. I almost feel like it deserves ice cubes.
Yingling is better than Coors Light.
But if you like that skunky weed beer and all that, and that's your definition of good beer, I have bad taste, and I'll admit it.
I will say that good craft beer is better than anything domestic light out there.
I would say,
and I'm a Yingling fan, so I'll be clear.
Craft beer. But here's the thing with good craft beer: some of them tried too hard.
Some of them
taste like butthole,
and it tastes like shit.
It tastes like you're literally licking liquid butthole. Literally licking liquid butthole. I don't know what liquid butthole. Say that 5 times fast.
But I know what shit smells like, so I can only imagine what it tastes like, because smell is diverted to taste.
I'd rather have a Yingling, but I'm not a beer guy. I've said that many times on this show. I'm not a beer guy. If you come here, Martelle's tried way more beers than I even cared to try.
I'm going to a brewery tonight.
Yeah, I have noticed. Like, I'll go, and I've tried a flight of beers at a place that's where they give you a little shot glasses of beer or whatever. I mean, they're bigger shot glasses, but there's some that I like. There's some okay, but I don't go out. If I'm having a steak, I might have a beer with it or something, but I'm not a beer guy. You won't come over to my house and get offered a beer unless you bring it, because I don't stock beer.
So, like, if you go down and look in my fridge, you're going to find all kinds of different beers in my fridge.
Yeah, you've got like a beer fridge.
I have a beer fridge from the 1950s.
It's a really cool fridge.
I need to take it down. I have 2 of them, actually. I have one out in the shed.
Jeez.
It's smaller. I want to take that one down, sandblast it, repaint it, re-insulate it.
Do some American Restoration crap on it.
Right.
You should paint it grabber blue. That's my favorite color.
I want to repaint it. I probably go with this one. I was thinking about going with like a chalkboard paint, just so you can write on it.
Yeah.
But I'll probably end up doing something.
That one needs like a classic 50s color, though, like an old Corvette or something.
I'll probably end up doing something else with this one at some point. It's smaller. It's much smaller than what I have in the shed. So I'll probably end up doing something else with it. I don't know what color I'll go with yet, but the compressor works fantastic. It is amazing that 70 years later, this thing still runs.
That's because back then, if it's like the vehicles, if you need 3 components to get a vehicle to move, use 3. Nowadays, you need 3 components to get something to work. Use 57.
Right.
And you're not allowed to touch any of them or you void the warranty.
Right. So I have 2 of these fridges. The other one is a larger version of that fridge that I have out in the shed that I use now. The seals are broke on the one, so it doesn't work as well. It doesn't keep the cold air in.
You can get new seals. But I
want to strip it down, repaint, send it off for automotive paint.
I want to do that myself. Strip me down, send me off and get restored.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the bad parts.
Give you an overhaul.
Give me a new paint job.
So our next review is from my buddy Brody.
I have not met Brody.
Brody runs CrossFit XS. So shout out to CrossFit XS. He also runs, he is one of the hosts of the One More Rep podcast.
Yes.
So
great fitness
Modi,
podcast you guys should check out.
And now they've added Jenna, a few months ago.
We need a Jenna. We need a Jenna. We need a female
we need a
opinion on this show.
Opinion, and my wife
tried to get Liz.
She won't step in.
Dude, Liz would come in here, and I bet we'd skyrocket if she was on here, because
probably
she'd not only give like an intelligent
she'd call me out
female,
on my bullshit.
Exactly. The dynamic, I would be third wheeling it. I would just sit here and watch her yell at you and laugh.
I would laugh, and then I would get in trouble after the fact.
You would.
So,
but it's good for ratings.
Brody said, off the wall funny, everyday topics discussed with zero filters while drinking bourbon and beer. Regular dudes entertaining with all their perspectives on all sorts of amazing stuff. Highly suggest if you're looking for a good laugh. I can't even
not
read.
If you're looking for a host that can articulate.
Pronunciation is not my specialty.
Right. Brody, thank you so much.
Brody, you're the man.
Saying off the wall funny is a huge compliment.
Yeah.
One of the things I always said that my goal in life is to make others feel good. And I can't do that sexually, so I try to make people laugh. I try to be like my goal.
The funny guy.
Dude, if somebody says, what do you want to do in life? Like, what's your peak? If you made it, if you were the most successful you could be, outside of being a good husband and father, which I am not, so I can't do that. It would be like to be like, not like him or not be his equal, but shoot to be like a Chris Farley. Like, I don't mind if I'm fat. I don't mind if I'm hairy. I don't mind if I'm ugly. I just want to entertain people. So if I can literally bring laughter to somebody's crappy day.
Well, that's what we're trying to do here.
There's podcasts I listen to when I drive between an hour and 3 hours for work some days that are either intellectually stimulating or hilarious. And I am not intellectual enough to intellect anybody.
No.
So if we can be funny and make somebody laugh, or even just take away from the mundaneness of their day-to-day life, awesome. Thank you so much, Brody.
Yeah.
Everybody check out One More Rep. It's a great fitness podcast. I've listened to a few episodes.
Brody and Mo break everything down. Jenna still sits. She should be standing, but we're not going to get into that.
As I say, with my feet propped up. You should stand up, Jenna.
I'm
Quit
sitting
being lazy.
too, but I'm having some back issues.
You are. You usually stand.
I'm about 3 weeks out of surgery, and I do a lot of sit standing.
I am 3 weeks out of, I'm always fat, so I'm sitting in like an old 1980s armchair with my feet propped up.
But definitely check out One More Rep podcast. If not just, it is 100% fitness related. They do talk more so about CrossFit than anything else because that's what the three hosts are into.
Yeah.
Modi,
bro.
I just made it. Modi and Jenna. Mo, Brody, and Jenna are all CrossFitters.
Your coffee's a little strong.
It is a little strong, and it's gone now. If you're into fitness of any kind, just listen to what they have to say. Everything that they break down along
I'm
the
into
fitness realm, whether it's body shaming
beehole,
or if it's how
I like body shaming,
just even how to act in the gym, they've got everything covered.
And it's entertaining too.
Oh yeah,
it's not boring. Because there's some fitness podcasts that are just like, if you're not doing this, you're wrong, and if you're
they are nowhere near that. Brody and Mo and Jenna are nailing down. I did it. Hey, I got it right. So definitely check out One More Rep podcast because
Jenna, if you come to our podcast, you can sit. We have an extra chair right over here.
I highly doubt she's going to drive from the west side of Ohio to the central Ohio's.
The central Ohio's. South Central Ohio's. To be on our stupid but 5-star, 4.6 star podcast.
And then our last review is kind of long from Dustin Phillips.
My favorite's the title.
Al Bundy ran over a herd of turkeys.
I love that. I don't even, like, if you just put that, I'd be happy.
That's it. There's the review.
I love it.
Let's see. So this one's long. So Buckhorn Podcast is one of my go-to long-form podcasts. Hold on.
I like this guy's humor because I just read it. BP. And then parentheses says Buckhorn Podcast for short.
And I'm skipping over that.
I know you are, but I liked it.
So yeah, BP or Buckhorn Podcast for short is one of my long-form podcasts for a group of gents from the least known state in the country.
Okay, hold on. I take offense to that. We are the 49th most well-known state because nobody remembers Rhode Island. Fact. Yeah. We may be the least known state in the U.S., except for Rhode Island. Actually,
until it comes election time, and then we're one of the well-known.
Well-known. We are the most well-known. Come every 4 years.
Most well-known states.
Actually, you know how many celebrities and like astronauts and political people came from Ohio?
Robert Urich is from Toronto,
more than 50% of the U.S. population is within like 500 miles of Ohio.
Did you know
we're a major shipping hub?
Robert Urich is from Toronto, Ohio.
He is.
Yeah, you have no idea
who that is. Not at all.
He was on Lifetime for Women a lot.
Did he found Rhode Island?
No, he died of cancer.
Oh, right. Same thing.
But a guy named Joe Martell wrote a biography about him.
I said Joe Montana.
Joe Martell.
He was a terrible quarterback. All right.
So where did I leave? One of my favorite things about the podcast has to be the laid-back nature of the show, allowing for easy listening. It reminds me a lot of what I think of Bob Ross paintings should sound like if you could get a hearing aid big enough to listen to them.
Okay, Dustin, first off, comparing us to a Bob Ross painting or his show is more than we deserve. We are not on that level.
Oh, no.
Thank you so much. When you said laid back nature of the show, I was like, yeah, that's us. We want to provide easily listening.
We're putting happy little trees everywhere.
When you're driving, I'll put my happy little tree wherever
happy clouds,
you want.
Happy little trees.
You just got to get the tampon out of the way. We'll put our happy tree wherever. But say it like if you're driving long distance or you're working and don't want to care what's on the radio or your phone speakers.
We're background noise.
We're here for you.
We've always said we're background noise.
Yeah.
You
now,
put
if
us
you
on
get
the
into
background,
it and you respond and you get angry and you react, awesome.
Right.
But just the fact that we can be like a Bob Ross painting.
Well, he put a period and I stopped where I should have finished, where if you could get a hearing aid big enough to listen to them, or if I've ever watched Bob Ross. I didn't read far enough ahead. Anyways.
He compared us to somebody who has no idea what he's talking about.
Right,
okay.
It's great.
I love it.
Anyways, always breaking down the cultural barriers between Ohio and the rest of the world has been a treat to listen to, as each of the episodes is structured around good, fair fun.
We don't care where you come from. Our 2 new listeners this week in the UK and the one in Finland, Ola and Arrivederci. And we absolutely love you. We love Finland.
I want to go to Finland.
I would love to. I'd love to get out. I've never been out of the country.
I've been to Canada.
I've been west of the Mississippi twice in my life.
I've been to St. Lucia and it was amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, the breaking down cultural barriers, we don't like barriers, period. Mainly because we are curmudgeons.
For the most part.
We're grumpy. Yeah, I mean,
I'm the curmudgeon of Carol.
Curmudgeon of Carol.
Let me say that again. The curmudgeon of Carol.
There you go.
I've dubbed it myself. But
and Carol doesn't even know he's her curmudgeon.
No,
she's a sweet lady.
Maybe.
But we, forget barriers, man. We don't have time to build walls. So we don't care what your rate. We had JJ on the show. He's 9 people in one.
And we made fun of him the entire time.
He's a short little blumpkin.
He is.
And we love him. He's our blumpkin.
I just love his first name. I'm not going to say it, but I love
Julian?
Yeah, there you go.
It's on his Facebook.
I know.
Here's the thing. I call him King Julian.
We didn't want to call him out as who we only called him JJ. We didn't even give his last name because of
I still didn't give his last name.
What he does. But anyway, my favorite part has to be the time Randy and Martelle had a raccoon tamer on as a guest. For that, I give them 7 stars. It's a great podcast full of great guests. I'm looking forward to the next week's guest when they bring in Barbara Bush impersonators.
We need to have Dustin on the show. Dustin needs to come do some bourbon whiskey reviews with us.
Dustin, if you're listening, send us a message.
Who is Dustin Phillips?
I don't no idea.
Buddy, that was phenomenal. You get 5 stars for being the best review.
You get 7 stars for leaving a 5-star.
7's the most you can have of anything.
God, that is amazing.
You can never have more than 7 of anything. You get a 7 out of 5 stars on that.
That was so good.
That was phenomenal. We thank you guys so much for your reviews, for listening. We thank you for sharing our stories. We hope that...
You know what?
Our recent episodes, I think, have been educational.
I would hope so. The 9/11 tribute, I think, was a good one.
Yeah, we actually put some time into some of those. That one, the H.H. Holmes, the Pretty Boy.
H.O. Holmes, yeah.
H.O. Holmes.
God, man, my tongue is doing its own thing today. H.H. Holmes.
Yeah, it is, and I wish you'd keep it over there.
Oh. It's doing the Harley talk. It's doing Harley's new language.
Oh, I was I was making all like perverted sexual jokes.
Yeah, I know.
You mentioned your youngest
and
daughter.
I went to my daughter.
Well, way to make me feel like Michael Jackson. You're not a boy. Get out of here.
Anyway, if you leave a review, hit 5 stars, whether it's on Google, whether it's
if you hit 1 star, at least leave a review telling us why. Say we suck and here's why. So,
leave a review, whether it's on iTunes, just send us something. I don't know.
Just send us stuff.
We're fucking.
We had everything planned out for a show here, and we didn't talk about one thing we said we were going to.
Not yet. We're going to hit a couple things real quick, though.
Heck yeah, we are. Because this is our show. 3% my show.
Well, we're fine on time. I don't care.
Who cares? We're long form.
This one,
we are long in the form.
Long. We're like 3 inches long.
And short in the pants.
So this one I love. This is a first world problem. This came up in my Instagram the other day, and I'm like, I got to check this out. Or not my Instagram, on my newsfeed. And I got to check this out. Spoiled rich brats are spending thousands to be featured on this Instagram account.
Okay, I've known nothing else about this.
Right, and I'm going to explain to you.
Whose kid spends thousands and then not go, what the hell are you spending thousands on?
They are so far removed from society that you and I will never have this problem. And I'm calling it a problem because
I'm too poor to have these kind of problems.
Right. Then that's what it is. So
you didn't have to say right. You didn't have to confirm how poor I am.
Oh no, I'm as poor. I'm just as poor as you are
no, when
it comes to shit like this.
Well, probably.
Trust me.
You have a sports car. You're rich.
Yeah, I'm white trash millionaire.
Look, you have a wife and 2 daughters. I can't afford girls. That's why I had 2 boys.
Shit, I can't.
I'm like, go outside and play with that stick.
I can't afford boys.
That's all we get this week.
That's what Harley does.
That might be part of our problem.
That's
why she's talking like an orangutan right now.
She's such a tomboy.
We should have her on.
I would love
to. Call her up here right now.
This Instagram. So what this does is there's a website you can go to called the Golden Price Tag.
Not to be confused with the Golden Shower.
Right. It's goldenpricetag.com, I think is what the website is. Goldenpricetag.com. You can go to this website. If you have the money, you can upload a photo of whatever you're doing, spending money, doing something stupid with money. You say, I'm going to pay X amount, and it's between $1,000 and $999,999. So just $1 shy of $1 million to one up the person that posted the picture before you. Now, on the backside of this, for the technical people, they've got an algorithm. They've got a database set up. You submit the payment. If they review the photo you submit, if they reject the photo, you get the payment back. So if you spend $8,000 on a photo to upload to Instagram and they reject it, you get the $8,000 back to your credit card.
It says their account's offering you to post your images to their account and just how rich you are, and they post how much you paid on their website so you can brag to all your friends.
Oh, yeah. So
here's why I should never hit the lottery, because I would seriously send pictures of dogs' buttholes for $1 million for that stupid money.
They wouldn't get approved.
It doesn't matter. I'd take a screenshot of the fact that I could send it and afford to send it and show my friends. That's how I'd brag.
So
be like, oh, you paid $8,000 to show you on a yacht? Here's a dog's butthole I paid $1 million for.
There are several photos here of just rich teenagers.
That one's just a douchebag standing by a girl named Steve on a golf course.
He was the first person to post a photo to this site. Did I really spend $1,000 to post this picture? Yeah, whatever. It posts the amount that you spent. So part of what this website does,
he literally looks like though he just spent his inheritance. He does not look that rich.
Oh, he
also looks like he needs a swift kick in the nuts if you can find him.
He does need a swift kick in the nuts, but this website will post the amount. Not only it takes the image, it modifies it, puts the golden price tag image on
the logo,
on it, and then posts it to Instagram with whatever the caption is that you put with the photo, but it also tells how much that person spent on the image so that the next person looking at it goes,
has to one up it.
Oh, this person spent $1,000? I'll spend $1,200. Oh, this person spent $1,200? I'll go $2,000. This website.
Now it's brilliant.
Hold on. This website in 5 photos made $8,500.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's brilliant.
Brilliant. I'm not mad at the people that own it.
That is a first world problem.
The douchebags that buy into it, they're what's wrong with the world.
Right. They're so far removed
from poor white trash like us with an 84 IQ went, I bet I can make rich people give me money, and found a way to do it. And kudos to them.
This didn't happen in America.
That's entrepreneurship.
Unfortunately, this is out of Germany, I think.
I don't care. That's entrepreneurship. That's brilliant.
It is. Do you remember the
$1 million website back in like 03 or 4?
One pixel for $1.
He made a 1 million pixel website, $1 each. He made $1 million. He made himself a millionaire by hosting a website.
Hold on, because
is it still there?
Before I say anything, who created the $1 million website?
Well, you spelled created in a really weird and incorrect way.
Yeah, I know. Create
the $1 million. Oh, that's better.
$1 million website. Because I have a feeling, and I don't want to be incorrect when I say it, but $1 million homepage. Okay. No, it wasn't who I thought it was. It was conceived by Alex Tu.
A student.
He was a student who was trying to pay for college.
Made $1 million.
Made $1 million basically by selling one pixel. That is the most
early 2000s picture I've ever seen.
I am going to add this link because we're talking about it.
That's awesome.
But But the
There's
$1
one
million
of them that just
homepage,
says absinthe.
it's awesome.
But yeah, if you paid $50, you got a bigger square than somebody paid $2. There's one that says "Don't click." Women pixels.
Oh, they're all clickable. That's the other piece.
Oh, they're all links. That's
They're
how he sold it.
all links. Every one of them.
It's advertising.
Yeah. Alex wasn't. This is brilliant. Back to the golden ticket. This website.
It's
the
brilliant.
way that it's structured is brilliant. It's simple. You go in, you upload a photo, you say I'm going to pay X amount of money,
and you know
put
what
in a caption,
started
you hit
it?
send.
That one first douchebag that made 1,000. Once they got him, he went, okay, now somebody has to one up it.
Right. Now,
Once you convince somebody that it's worth paying $1,000 for nothing, everybody else will want to pay more for nothing.
at the time of this, when I originally looked at it, there were 5 pictures. They've actually taken one down.
Okay.
So now there's only 4. So let's see, which one did they have? 1, 2, 3. They only have 3 images posted in the article. So, but it's brilliant.
Absolutely. I wish I thought of it.
I know, same here. And you can't replicate it at this point. You could say, okay, I'm going to do
Here's
the same
what I want
thing.
to do.
I want to do $20 to $1,000.
No, I want to do one called the brown ticket.
White trash billionaire ticket.
Nope. I just want to call it the brown price tag.
The brown price
It'll
tag?
be shaped like a turd emoji. And it'll be like
$1.
a penny. Nope, a penny. I don't care to make money.
I've
lived my whole life without money.
You got to at least cover the cost of the web hosting and the domain URL.
It's Instagram.
No, there's a website that you have to upload through.
Oh, that costs like $20 a year.
Bullshit.
Go to GoDaddy.com.
There. $2,500. She spent $2,500.
That picture's not worth 25 cents. It's just a girl in a red dress on a dock.
Anyway, so I wanted to get into that one because I thought this was a perfect first world problem.
Yeah, that's dumb.
In other news, Osama bin Laden's son's dead.
Yeah, that just came about.
That just came about within like the last
morning.
6 hours. So White House statement says the death of prominent Al Qaeda member deprives the group of important leadership skills.
Well, not anymore. He don't.
No,
he's deprived of important breathing skills now.
Hamza bin Laden. Is it Hamza?
Hamza. Where's his name? Hamza. I thought they didn't like him. Bin Laden.
Can you pronounce this name for me? Let me punch you in the chest again.
I think it's Hamza.
Bin Laden. There we go. He's a high-ranking Al Qaeda member. He's dead.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that? Because I have 2 thoughts.
My thought is it's not going to affect my day today. I've got a lot to do today, so I'm going to leave here. I thought about getting a haircut. I may postpone that. I'm going to go to my shop and finish this hatchet I'm working on and start these road spike knives. And it doesn't really matter to me.
Right.
I have no preference either way. This dude's, I didn't even know who he was until I saw this article this morning. So I don't really care. Not that I sit and watch any of it, but I don't like terrorists.
I knew that he had kids.
I don't like terrorists. It said he's responsible for planning and dealing with various terrorist groups.
Right.
Obviously, any kind of terrorist group, foreign or domestic, I'm against. I don't care if it's, I don't care if it's Al Qaeda. I don't care if it's Mormonism. Any extremist that causes harm and does no good, I don't care what happens with them.
So here's my first thought. I could give a shit because it doesn't affect my day-to-day life.
Almost like the president.
Right. So my second thought is, looking at this article, there is a $1 million bounty on this guy. You could not send Dog the Bounty Hunter over to the Middle East to go flush this guy out and find him so that Dog could get $1 million for this guy. It just wouldn't be allowed. If a bounty hunter came over to the Middle East, pulled this guy out, they would not get $1 million for that.
There's some high-end assassins that make some money. You've heard of Blackwater.
We can't talk about that.
You've heard of Blackwater.
No. Don't talk about them.
When I worked at a bank,
I don't want them showing up at my front door.
we're not recording at my house. So.
Right.
But when I worked at a bank in Columbus, and I worked for several, so nobody's going to narrow it down if they Google me, which is funny because if you Google me, you usually find my dad. And if you go to his house, he likes to answer the door with a shotgun if he don't know you. So, but somebody came in with a very, very large check from
Blackwater, Halliburton,
government type account.
U.S. government?
And a government
I'm
type
guessing here.
account. I'm not going to give too many details.
The Pentagon?
That was well into the six figures. And when we vetted it and cleared everything, it was legit. And it was here in Columbus, Ohio.
Well,
so
I'm not surprised about that.
The fact to say that somebody's not going to get a bounty on his head, no, they will.
No, I'm not saying that.
It's not going to be Dog the Bounty Hunter.
But I'm just saying, if you
anybody on like TLC or anything,
if we went to the CIA's most wanted list, and they had,
it's not like the Wild West.
We couldn't go capture.
We're not going to run into a saloon out in Arizona in
Right.
the desert and shoot this guy and get $1 million.
These bounties are so that they try to entice the locals to give up the location of what these people are. So my second thought is, I would like to be an international bounty hunter and go try to find these people.
Do it. Chase your dreams.
It's not going to happen. But anyway, this
That's
gentleman,
because you're too lazy.
pretty much.
Like that takes effort.
That takes way too much
I
effort.
have to learn how to like kill people.
There's no. Well, I could. That's training. I mean,
right. That's what I'm saying. You'd have to learn. That takes time.
it takes way too much, and I'm past the.
You're past your prime
for that time.
You're too old.
So
You could play an operative in a B-list movie.
maybe
If you grew your beard back out a little bit, maybe C-list.
Maybe.
You could,
Well, I'm
be
growing
like,
it out now.
like on that, like on a team of 6 dudes in a movie. You could be one of the operatives on it.
I could be the guy, I could be number 6 in the back.
No, you'd be like 4.
No, I'll go with 5.
You'd be a solid 4.
I'll meet you halfway. 5.
I'm the dude that's back at the motor pool, just making fun of everybody.
You're watching on video.
Because I'm like the civilian they hired in because I'm way too fat to be in the military.
You're just
definitely not
cracking
spec
jokes.
ops.
Cracking jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy, I was going to call him a gentleman. Further from the truth, this motherfucker is dead. Fuck him. I'm good. I'm glad he's dead. I don't give a shit that
Yeah, I don't have any preference either way.
he's dead. Done. We had another one. There was another one you sent me. I'm trying to find it.
You have so many tabs open right now.
I know. So it's just so we could hit a couple news pieces for this show because we did a lot of bourbon talk in the beginning.
Bruising news.
Bruising news. Aggressive cock pecks Australian woman to death in rare attack.
That's not what it says.
I know, but cock sounds so much better. It's a rooster.
I mean, each their own, whatever you're into.
I mean, literally they touch tips.
A rooster, they dock. A rooster killed a lady.
And so I read this article. The gist is a 76-year-old woman was out collecting eggs from her hens.
Right.
And this rooster came over, pissed off because roosters are assholes. They're like cats.
It can be, yeah.
And pecked at a varicose vein.
Just hit the right nerve.
Hit this varicose vein. She asphyxiated. She choked on her own blood.
Crazy.
In the leg. In the leg. The leg.
Says varicose veins are usually harmless. And only
See, you're having the same problem I am.
No,
Except you're dying.
I'm having throat AIDS is what I'm having.
Right. Throat AIDS and news.
Throat AIDS and news.
So yeah, varicose veins are usually harmless. They're just usually they surface. They're kind of they twist and kind of get. You just drain them. They're
gross,
non-functional veins at that point. But this
only
particular
caused 2 lacerations in her leg.
Right. He didn't really do anything other than
he just pecked her like a rooster would.
She internally bled out and suffocated of asphyxiation. I am intrigued for whatever reason by this because a 2-pound bird took down a woman, which reminds me of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. So there you go.
Yeah, but those weren't a bunch of cocks just flying around.
No, they were mainly crows and sparrows.
Just flying cocks everywhere, just smacking people in the face.
Flying assholes.
In their legs.
What else we got? Well, let's do one more.
One more.
Let's do a local one.
The Scioto Post.
So this is from Scioto Post. You made a comment about, before we start recording, jellyfish invade Circleville waters.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Circleville is... I was born in Columbus and raised up until right before 7th grade. We sold our house. I was getting into fights all through middle school, well, 6th grade.
Circleville has nothing.
Me and my buddy got shot at in our neighborhood,
BP.
so my parents said, let's get out of here. They moved us to Circleville, which Circleville's growing. When we moved there, they had 13,000 people. Now it's like 38,000.
Right.
So it's growing.
It's getting
which
bigger.
I hate,
it's still...
It's small town Ohio still, especially downtown. And I saw this, and all I did was read the headline and send to Martelle. I didn't even read the article. Jellyfish invade Circleville waters. Now, there's like 3 bodies of water in Circleville.
There's one of them pond.
One of them is the Scioto River, which is where all the dead bodies that get dumped from Columbus end up drifting down to us.
Right.
The other's Hargis Lake, which is a cesspool where you can have a fishing tournament of fish you'd never want to eat. And the other one's a creek that runs by the railroad tracks behind the old park that's dilapidated nobody goes to. And I can imagine any of these 3 having jellyfish. But the thing that got me is that it says, how'd the title say it? Jellyfish invade.
Invade.
How do they invade? They don't walk across land. Jellyfish didn't hop out of the ocean, come to Ohio, and hop in Hargis Lake.
Right. So, how they invaded, in quotes, is... Jellyfish are obviously not native to Ohio. They're an invasive species that scientists think hitchhiked from a Japanese ornamental plant.
So these things, they're freshwater.
They're freshwater jellyfish.
They hopped on a plant, probably came to Walmart. Or Roach Farm Market, because that's the only 2 places in Circleville.
Right. Somehow
to buy plants.
the eggs of a jellyfish were on a
end
plant.
Up in the water? And in what water?
And they stayed dormant in dry locations for a period of time. Then the water contacts them, and they begin the life cycle. I'm trying to figure out exactly where this was.
They attach themselves to rocks, tree roots, blah, blah, blah.
They form impala. They're free-flowing creatures. Jellyfish are mostly made up of their bodies are made of.
They're not dangerous.
Cells.
That's good.
No, they're harmless. These are non-stinging jellyfish.
That's how much is going on in Circleville. They're harmless. They're so tiny you can barely see them in a clear glass of water. But let's make a whole article about them because there's nothing else going on here except for meth explosions.
Right. And it's the rock quarry on 23, the north side of Circleville.
Where they do the diving. Okay.
So it's where they practice diving and get certified
Island Road
for diving.
to get there.
So there you go.
So they were underwater and went, what the?
So
who
knows?
jellyfish?
There may have been somebody who was diving in China.
I forgot about the rock quarry.
Yeah, there may have been somebody who's diving in China, got some of the eggs on their suit. It dried, and then they went diving again. Boom, you got jellyfish.
That's how you get AIDS. Not HIV, but full-blown AIDS.
Right. So it's...
Sorry that it's not something less serious.
It is just interesting.
It's just the article. I didn't even read it. The headline: Jellyfish invade Circleville.
I read it when and to be fair, this article was posted a couple weeks ago on 8/24.
It's like we said before. I should write headlines because my headline for this story would say
they're so clickbaity.
Very tiny jellyfish found in rock quarry, and nobody gives a crap.
No one would care.
Like
jellyfish invade Circleville.
It would literally be like Osama bin Laden's son died, and this doesn't affect you at all.
You read this and you say jellyfish invade Circleville. You picturing them walking down the street with laser
it's like
guns.
a sci-fi movie,
right?
They're like giant jellyfish taller than the buildings.
Yeah, and the image they show makes it seem like this thing is 3 or 4 inches in diameter.
Or at
in
least
reality,
it's smaller than your thumb.
It's smaller than an inch.
So dumb.
It's so tiny. Anyway, let's wrap this show up.
Okay.
I'm done. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitters.
Insta, Google, Tweetstagram.
Definitely check out Catoctin Creek. If you're in the Virginia area, I know it's available in Virginia and New York. I'm not sure where else. Pick yourself up a bottle. Try it out. If you pick up the $100 bottle, send it to us. We'll try it out.
Yeah. We'll let you know how it tastes.
Big shout out to One More Rep Podcast for Brody, Mo, and Jenna, they're killing it over there.
Stand up, Jenna.
Yeah, stand up. Don't sit down. Two Bitch Bourbon. If you know of somebody who owns or runs a brewery that wants to do a collaboration with a whiskey distillery that is not around this area that makes a fantastic drink,
yes,
Two Bitch Bourbon is the way to go. So get a hold of us. I'll get you intact with Lauren and Joe, and we will get you somehow. They will get you a barrel. I can't say I will get you in touch with them. They'll get you the barrel.
And you will name the beer after us.
And then we'll call it the Buckhorn Brew or something like that.
Buckhorn Balls.
Ooh.
Buck Balls Brew.
We can do like an Imperial IPA.
Just call it
that is
Buckhorny.
Barrel aged. Oh,
Buckhorny.
It would be like 17%. It'd be so high alcohol content. It'd be amazing.
And then we'll put some Blue Flame in it. Really spice it up.
No, we can't.
And garnish it with a moonshine pickle.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that.
And top it off with a moonshine cherry.
No.
All kinds of flavors just going down your throat aids.
No, because I'm not gonna taint Two Bitch Bourbons.
Oh, we're gonna put our taint all over it.
That's the show, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We'll talk to y'all later. Pinkies up.
Peace.